you know we love our pineapples here in Jamaica and across the length and breadth of the island. You will find pineapple vendors stand out everywhere because Jamaicans do love pineapples. It is one of those crops that we grow and grow well. But of course, there are challenges that the farmers will face from time to time. And so that is why we are engaging in conversation this morning. The team from Newport Fersan Jamaica, as they join us to talk about not just the production of pineapples, but productivity, which is really very important. And it is critical for us to make that distinction. And so I'm very happy that the team this morning from Newport Fersan, they're turning the spotlight on the issues and then finding solutions as to how it is that we can move pineapple production to higher levels of productivity. Joining us, agronomist m.gooden. Good morning and a happy new year, Murphy. How are you doing?
Good morning. Happy New Year out here. I'm doing good. And you?
I am great. Happy to have you on with us. We're also joined by technical sales consultant Kymarly Campbell. Kymarly, good morning and a happy new year to you. How are you?
Good morning to you and a happy new year to the entire team. I'm doing just fine.
Thank you so very much, Kymarly's technical sales consultant. All right, so gentlemen, I don't think I am wrong in acknowledging that we grow pineapples and we grow them well, and we do grow a number of varieties, and that they as a matter of fact, sometimes people don't even have hands to sell pineapples, so we simply need to be increasing productivity. Murphy, let us start with a simple enough question as to what nutritional benefit pineapples possess.
Yes, out here. Now, as many of our listeners may be well aware, pineapple is basically one of those superfoods. So it basically is packed with a lot of nutrients for the body. Now, pineapple, because it contains vitamin C, it basically aids when it comes on to our system. Once our systems want to basically develop, it basically aids as an antioxidant out here. Pineapple is also a good source of fiber since it contains both soluble and the insoluble fiber. It's also high in manganese, and because it's high in manganese, it basically aids when it comes on to our bone health and also when it comes on to the metabolism of our body. Now, because pineapple also contains an enzyme known as bromelain, what this does, it acts as an anti-inflammatory enzyme, and it's also needed when it comes down to the digestion of protein. So we can truly say that pineapple is one of those superfoods that we need on a day-to-day basis.
All right, so it is chock full of nutrients, minerals, vitamins, and so it is good for us. What are the major areas for pineapple production in Jamaica, Murphy?
Well, actually, in my zone out here, which basically consists of Trelawny, St. James, Hanover, and Westmoreland, it is safe to say that I have the major area where pineapple is grown. So when you take a look at St. James, that is basically up in areas like Garland, Maroon Town. When we take a look at Westmoreland, we basically see a lot of pineapple farmers. And also in areas like Ginger Hill, which is basically in St. Elizabeth, we see a lot of pineapple farmers. So in that belt right there out here, you find that most of the pineapple grown on the island tend to be, again, in St. James, Westmoreland, and St. Elizabeth as well. And one of the things that I also observe out here is that the terrain of the land where pineapple is grown, it tends to be on the hilly side, right? Yeah, pineapple is also one of those crops that is rain-fed. Now, with that said, we can understand why it's grown in these specific areas. But as we move further, we're going to basically look on the implication of why or what is basically happening to the soil because of pineapple being grown in these specific areas.
Okay. I wondered though, why is pineapple such an economical crop to grow? Because we're seeing more and more people getting into pineapple production these days, Murphy.
So out here, just yesterday, I was collecting a soil sample from a farmer that plants cane. Now, his reason why he wants to go into pineapple is because, one, he said that it basically has a lower maintenance costs when it comes on to other crops. Now, even though the cane is basically low maintenance as well, he believes that he can basically make more from the pineapple since he is basically also low maintenance. The plants themselves tend to be hardy once they're established, and they basically, as said, require little maintenance. Also, the high demand for such crop is also there. So when you take a look at our local markets and when you take a look at the international market, we think about stuff like our canned pineapple. We look at the fresh consumption of pineapple, the juice production of pineapple. We see that it's always in high demand. And also, as compared to other crops, pineapple is one of those low risk crops when it comes down to failure, right? It's very low risk, and it's one of those crops that is fairly resistant to common agricultural pests and diseases, so therefore reducing the likelihood of failure.
Okay. Kymarly, I don't want you to feel left out. I will come to you a little bit later on. I know that we're doing the issues and then the solutions, so I'm going to ask Murphy to just guide us through the issues, and then I'll come to you for the solutions. But Murphy, what then are the major issues associated with pineapple production? As a matter of fact, you have already started to mention some of it, and we want to delve a little bit deeper, do a little bit more of a deep dive. So what are the major issues?
All right, so one of the major issues out here is basically the lack of a comprehensive and balanced nutritional program. So when you go into pineapple country, so to speak, you'll observe a lot of nutrient deficiency being shown, or basically manifesting themselves. And one common nutrient deficiency is nitrogen, right? So you'll see nitrogen manifesting itself, meaning you see the yellowing taking place on the older leaves. You'll see stunted growth. You'll see reduced fruit size. That is, if the crop is in the bearing phase. The cause of this is basically a lack of nitrogen within the soil. Sometimes when we're going through a drought condition, you'll see the plants highlighting that they need nitrogen. Or oftentimes this may be due to poor fertilization. Or one, you're also getting a lot of rainfall, and as a result, as I said, these plants are planted on hills, and as a result, you have a lot of leaching taking place from the soil. Another common nutrient deficiency is the potassium deficiency. Now, this basically will appear, you'll see necrosis or browning taking place on the leaf edges, especially the older leaves. Now, what potassium does for the pineapple out here is what we all love. It makes the pineapple sweet. It makes the pineapple marketable. Now, if potassium is not available, what you'll find is that the fruit quality will also be compromised as well. Also, the cause of this is basically similar to nitrogen. Not enough potassium is available within the soil. Oftentimes, there's a imbalanced fertilization that basically does not provide this type of nutrient. Another common one we have also out here is calcium. Now, once we speak about calcium, we have to make mention of boron. Calcium and boron, they both work hand in hand. They both work to basically do each other's function, or to assist with each function. Now, calcium is responsible for the formation of the cell walls, and once the cell wall is basically developed, what you find is that you will have a much hardier, sturdy pineapple fruit. And also, once you have this taking place, you'll see a longer shelf life when it comes down to your fruit. So oftentimes our farmers will basically reap the pineapples, and in no time we have a lot of spoilage taking place. This is due to the lack of calcium as well. Boron basically gives the pineapple that marketable shape and size, right? So we don't want a pineapple that's basically shaped like a triangle, or is shaped like a box, or is shaped in a shape that we're not familiar with. So boron basically aids the pineapple in basically having that shape. Now, manganese, as subtle as this may be, is actually one of the most common nutrient deficiencies in pineapple. So you'll see some little chlorotic spots on the leaves, all over the leaves. And those yellowing that you're seeing is basically the lack of manganese. And that lack of manganese, as simple as it may sound, or as simple as although it may seem, it basically compromise your quality. It compromise the yield that a farmer is supposed to get. Alright? Another important aspect, and as mentioned out there, these, as important as all these nutrients are, the next issue, soil pH, is even way more important than all of that. Because if the soil pH is off, then these nutrients won't be able to basically be utilized. Now, in pineapple areas, you'll find that the soil tends to be on the acidic side. And what you'll find happening is that pineapple, plantain, banana, those crops use a lot of potassium. And once that those units or those molecules of potassium is being utilized, what you'll find happening is that a lot of hydrogen ion will basically start to build up within the soil. And what this will do for the soil, basically make it more acidic. Once the soil is more acidic now, you'll find certain elements like aluminum becoming more soluble within the soil itself. And this will basically affect the roots themselves, preventing them from uptaking all these important nutrients. And lastly, you have the pest and disease. I said earlier, pineapple is one of those crops that have very little issues when it comes down to this, but the issues are still there. So the common issue is the mealybug or scaling insect. Now what these do, when you take a look at the post-harvest of pineapple, these pests make the pineapple not so marketable. You'll find some holes in the pineapple. You'll find some issues that a person coming to buy pineapple will not want to see. We also have the black rot or the staff rot disease which affect pine. And what you'll see happening is that the pineapple will basically begin to spoil.
Right. So the challenges are many: lack of comprehensive and balanced nutritional program, soil pH issues, acidity levels, pest and disease management, including mealy bugs, black rot, soft rot. So a lot going on there. But of course, we do know that Newport Fersan Jamaica, you have solutions to these. We will take those solutions from Kymarly Campbell when we come back from the break. And just want to encourage those of you who are into pineapple production that if you want to call through with your questions, feel free to do so. The team from Newport Fersan, they will offer you some guidance. We have with us m.gooden and Kymarly Campbell. Let us take the break.
Here at Hypro, farming is in our DNA, so we know the value of all you do. Hypro, let's get it done together. The time by Hypro is
6:30.
Introducing the Keyplex line of products distributed by Newport Fersan Jamaica Limited. Keyplex Jumpstart to get your plants off to the right start. KP 120 to promote root growth and plant development. 350 DP, chock full of micronutrients to maintain your crops. KP 625 with micronutrients for your citrus trees, other fruit trees, nut trees and corn. Plus Blossom Formula with chelated calcium, chelated magnesium and boron for a wide variety of row and tree crops. The Keyplex line of products distributed by Newport Fersan Jamaica Limited, the first on the land.
The Manchester Peace Coalition, MPCO, in association with C&D Construction, under the distinguished patronage of iconic son of Manchester and international reggae artist Jeff the McClymont Odie, aka Luciano, aka Jam Messenger, will host the staging of its awards and fundraising banquet 2025 this Saturday. Join Power 106 FM for a live broadcast from the event at the Golf View Hotel in Mandeville, 5.5 Caledonia Road, starting at 7 p.m. The event seeks to recognize the main contributors and sponsors, as well as those of their members who have contributed greatly to the work of the Peace Coalition. This broadcast is brought to you by the Manchester Peace Coalition, Lock Safe and Vault Limited, and L.R. Gibson Real Estate. That's a live broadcast from the Manchester Peace Coalition Awards and Fundraising Banquet, Saturday, February 1 at the Golf View Hotel, 5.5 Caledonia Road, Mandeville, starting at 7 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM.
Farm Talk continues here on Power 106 FM, and we're inside the feature First and in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions. And our issue of focus is production and productivity in pineapple and of pineapples, and of course we're doing it the Newport Fersan Jamaica way. We've already heard from m.gooden about the nutritional benefits. We've spoken about the major pineapple growing areas, why it is that it is economical to get into this segment of the agricultural sector. And although Murphy talks about the fact that pineapples are hardy, they are easy to grow, and they tolerate a number of issues. When things go wrong, you want to make sure you know exactly what is going on. So he has spoken about the importance of a comprehensive and balanced nutritional program, ensuring that you have the right soil pH levels, and of course pest and disease management. And we're now going over to Kymarly Campbell. Kymarly, in light of the various issues that have been identified by Murphy, what are some of the steps being taken by Newport Fersan Jamaica to assist pineapple farmers in the prevention and correction of the issues that he has mentioned?
Before I mention, a key thing to note, at Newport Fersan, one of our main objectives is to ensure that our farmers are getting maximum yield and production. Alright? So a very important thing that we carry out at Newport Fersan is referred to as a PNMS, which is a precise nutrient management system. And within this system, we carry out what is called a soil testing. Alright? Doing a soil test, that's the only way you can know the available nutrients that is there in the soil and the nutrients that are needed to enhance your productivity of your particular crop. Alright? The soil test is a very advanced testing. Which the soil is tested, it is sent to an overseas location to be tested. This soil test is very comprehensive, in which it shows you all the available nutrients that are there in the soil and the percentage of the nutrients. Right? So if these nutrients is at 16%, 14%, 15%, wherever. So after the soil testing is done, what we do, we create a program. So this program will have directives on how you grow this crop from seedling stage or from seed stage to marketing. Right? The program will consist of all your nutrients and your chemicals to use to combat against all the issues that will derive from planting this crop. Right? You know, most farmers will say, hey, they're not paying for the soil test and this and that. But farmers who maybe don't want to do a soil test, we also have a special line of fertilizer that is called the booster line. Alright? Are you still there with me? So the booster line.
Absolutely, I'm here with you and hearing every word that you're saying, but just allowing you the opportunity to explain in detail. So
alright, no problem. Lovely. So the booster line of fertilizer, we have three different. You have the start, the vegetative, and the yield booster. Right? So the formulation for the start booster is 15-15-15. Nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Plus sulfur, magnesium, iron, boron, and zinc. Right? The vegetative booster, on the other hand, the formulation is 20-10-10 plus calcium, humic acid, and NMAX. NMAX now is of vital importance, as NMAX, it is what this particular is in the fertilizer to allow the activation of nitrogen. Right? And the yield booster, which is 16-5-20 plus sulfur, magnesium, iron, boron, and zinc. The yield booster, this is the last line. This is the fertilizer that helps the crop to put on the body or to put on the weight. So it's responsible for fruiting. That's referred to as the yield booster. This is what gives you maximum production. So for most farmers who don't wish to do a soil test, in which a soil test is very advisable for you to enhance your production, because you can just go plant in the soil and you don't know what is available in the soil. And the only way to know the available nutrients is to do a soil test.
And of course, you are all experts in soil testing
here
at Newport Fersan.
Yes, ma'am. And as it relates to pests and diseases, right? We have some superb chemicals at Newport Fersan. One of which, my all-time favorite, and I should say this again, it is called a spectra. The spectra, most persons are familiar with the lambda cylotrine or the profenifos. The spectra is a combination with both active ingredients, the lambda cylotrine and the profenifos. So for your trips, your bites, your aphids, your dashing flies, all of those spectra is magnificent. And I can say this, it is one of the cheapest insecticides I know on the market up until this day. To get a 100 ml of spectra from Newport Fersan, I'm positive it's less than $600. A 250 ml is $1,300. Cheap and super effective. And you also have the first strike and you have the sucker. Right? The fungicides, we have the Clearway, the Enigma, the Eradicate, and the Victory Plus, in which they are all systemic. For the pesticides, those are stomach and contact. Right? But before you go about purchasing this, as I said, the most important analysis to do is to carry out what is to get us to carry out what's called a soil test. Once you do the soil test, we write you a program. The program will entail the nutrients and the pesticides that you need to plant the crop and to carry the crop straight to marketing.
Well, very, very, very important. And those farmers, Kymarly, who do the soil testing and they get the system that you have written specifically for them, what generally do they say to you once they get those results and once they start to use the program? What kind of responses do you get from the farmers?
Oh my God, man. Oh my God. Brilliant. Excellent. I can say the programs are written by Mr. Gooden. Murphy Gooden is the agronomist. And I at times we work the same area, but at times we go separate areas. And I can say this. Not because he's my partner, not because I work in Newport. I have never, ever heard a farmer complain about a nutrient program being written and given to them. All the farmers are like, why, boy, I couldn't trust him, man. He think work, man. For you give me thing, man, things are sort out, man. I can say, brilliant. I've never, ever gotten a negative feedback as it relates to a program. The only negative feedback I've ever gotten, boy, I couldn't know the program, man, it takes so long, but, you know, we have a lot of things to do, so at times we take a time to write the program, so we have to wait until the result is there. But as it relates to person
so the results,
applying the program...
So the results have to come in first, and then, of course, the comprehensive program is written for the farmer. Well, let me bring Murphy back in, because clearly, Murphy, a balanced nutritional program is crucial for pineapple production. Tell us why.
All right, so just to use a simple example out here. Now, having a balanced nutritional program is basically having a compass when you're lost. Alright? Now, you getting up, going to your farm, you doing your planting, you're basically operating in the unknown. But you having a soil test done and seeing the test result, you're seeing exactly what is high, what is low, what I must use, what I must not use, you're basically well on your way. Alright, and as what Mr. Campbell had basically highlighted, once a farmer gets a program and he sticks to the program, the only thing that can basically interfere with that program is the environment. And one of the services that we also offer is a field appraisal. Now, the field appraisal is what we would basically come and basically check after we prescribe the program to this farmer. So if it's a case where this needs to be tweaked or the farmer needs to do this instead, we'll guide the farmer in doing so. Right? But having a program is crucial. Gone are the days where a person just gamble. Now we want to ensure that we are intentional and we know exactly what it is that we're doing.
So very important for the farmer to follow to the T, to the letter, the program that is written for him or her, because that is based on what kinds of test results have come back, and so you can be more specific, and the farmer is guaranteed that what they're getting is what the crop it requires, right, Murphy?
Exactly, Althea. And And I would just also like to make one key point as well. Now, a while back, a demonstration was done in the pineapple country, meaning we basically compare the usage of a nitrate fertilizer. So we use calcium nitrate in comparison or versus the sulfate of ammonia, which we know that most pineapple farmers tend to go with. Now, because sulfate of ammonia is high in sulfur, what you don't want to do is to add that to your soil, especially if the soil is already acidic. So what you find happening is that farmers will say, okay, the sulfate of ammonium or the salt cheaper, so I'm going to go with that. But what you're actually doing is you're damaging the soil even further. And one of my important things I love to say is that the soil is alive. The soil is alive. So what we observe is that the calcium nitrate basically perform way better since it's a nitrate fertilizer. And the results were basically night and day different. So I just want to put that out there as well out here.
Thank you so very much for that, Murphy. Kymarly, the products and services that have been mentioned, how can the farmers access these?
Yes, man. You can reach us directly. I'm going to give you my phone numbers first, and I'm going to give you some location, for the Western region. So for Mr. Murphy Gooden, it's 550-9183. For myself, it's 564-2619. So the booster line and the chemicals for the availability and the location in the Western region from Montego Bay, we have Best of Earth Agri, which is located in the Montego Bay market. We have, by Anchova, we have Farm Plus. In Westmoreland, we have Lynn's Agricultural, also Source One, and September Farms. In the Hanover region, done by Hopewell, we have Everyday Farms. Right? In Trelawny, we have Ongzing, who is located in the Falmouth area. Right? So those stores you can go to access these products. And if it's a case in which they are not there or unavailable, you can always reach out to us.
Thank you so very much. Gentlemen, we're on the break. When we come back from the break, Murphy, I'll bring you back in to just reiterate the solutions that we've spoken about here on the program this morning.
Listen to Power 106 FM. The time is now
6:45.
The streaming season is here to spread the Christmas joy and cheer. Get 30% off one spot meter subscription for the year.
That's right! Get 30% off on your 12-month subscription plan and enjoy a whole year of the best Jamaican and Caribbean content. Simply log into OneSpot Media, select the 12-month subscription plan and click subscribe. Offer ends January 31st. Enjoy the season of streaming with OneSpot Media.
The USDA Food for Progress Jamaica Spices JA Spice is on a mission to revitalize Jamaica's spices sector with Jamaican ginger and turmeric 3 and 4 times stronger than their counterparts elsewhere in the world and pimento in high demand. It's time to learn more about this growing industry. Join us this and every first and third Thursday on Power 106 FM during Farm Talk for Spice Up Jamaica. That's Spice Up Jamaica, the feature that informs you about the transformation happening in the spices sector as it relates to ginger, turmeric, and pimento. Rounding out our conversation now with Murphy Gooden and Kymarly Campbell. And Murphy, always good to reiterate so that people get a sense of what we have discussed and they can take that information with them out into the field. So we have spoken about the issues, the lack of comprehensive and balanced nutritional program, issues with the soil pH and pest and disease management. But can you just quickly go over the solutions for us again so that our farmers
understand exactly what to do when they face these challenges?
Okay, out there. All right, so farmers. So when it comes on to pineapple, one of the key things that we want our farmers to appreciate is the importance of having a soil test done. So the importance of the soil test is basically highlighting to you what is available and what is not available. The soil test will also highlight your soil pH, and ideally for any crop, the ideal soil pH is around 5.5 to 6.5. Pineapple tend to be on the more acidic end. Now, the purpose of having the soil test done is that we at Newport Fersan, we can prescribe to you a program free of charge that will basically highlight which fertilizer you need, when to apply, where to apply the fertilizers, right? Now, outside of our flagship, the PNMS program, we have also the usage of our booster line of fertilizers. So the booster line is basically a line, I said. So it consists of the start booster, the vegetative booster, and also the yield booster. So these fertilizers are designed based on soil testing done right across the island to basically maximize a farmer's yield. Also, when it comes on to the pest and disease, as mentioned, we have the mealybugs, and we have also the heart rot or the soft rot that affects pineapple. And I would take a look at the blossom end rot, even though it's not caused by a pest and disease, but more of a nutritional deficiency. We have products at Newport Fersan that can be utilized to basically bring a solution to the issues our farmers face. We have the Spectra, which basically targets the mealybug. It also targets other pests such as the aphid, the whitefly, mites, thrips, leaf miner, and it also targets pests belonging to the Lepidoptera species. We have the sucker as well, that does a similar thing. They're both contact and stomach, first strike as well. Excellent for worms, which is Lepidoptera species. And also we have our fungicide, the Clearway, Victory Plus, Enigma, and others, and these are all systemic fungicides. And again, farmers, having a balanced nutritional program is key. If you are getting a yield that you're not satisfied with, don't be afraid to call Newport Fersan. Right, so we're just one phone call away.
All right. Gentlemen, we leave it there, but thank you both for this morning, and we do look forward to our next conversation with you.
Thank you, Althea.
All right, take care. Agronomist m.gooden, technical sales consultant Kymarly Campbell, talking to us this morning about production and productivity in pineapples and identifying the issues, but of course, giving us as well, very importantly, the solutions. This has been another in the series, Fersan in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions. A quick word, and then we are going to give you some additional information before we get out of here.
Fersan in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions was brought to you by Newport Fersan Jamaica Limited,